talking about video games, compared to my other content, I guess it's obviously a bit silly, a bit inconsequential, but just see where I go with it, and you might be positively surprised. Because in Watch Dogs 1, it really shows the psychological reality of being a vigilante a whole lot better than pretty much any other medium that I've seen. Maybe there's some movie about it that's accurate. I don't really give a fuck, I haven't seen it. So I'm going to talk about the story of the game and also how that compares to doing it in real life, right? So the story of Watch Dogs 1 is pretty simple. Aiden Pierce, the main character, he was like a criminal hacker and he fucked up one of the jobs. The people he was trying to steal money from, they got his ID, his address. They send a guy out to kill him. The guy fucks it up. Aiden survives, but his niece was in the car and she died, right? So now he wants revenge. But not just that, he also becomes a vigilante trying to basically beat up criminals in the street, just in any context. So he basically uses the surveillance equipment that exists in the city and he hacks it so that he can catch criminals, right? So he just waits somewhere, then the guy's about to beat someone up or kill someone, and then he intervenes at the last second, right? That's what he does. So, on its surface, this seems like a pretty simple thing, right? Like, he feels a sense of guilt because he feels like he's responsible for his niece dying. So in order to morally cleanse himself, so to speak, he goes out and prevents any other forms of crime that he can. And yeah, it is pretty simple, but that's not really what matters to me. What matters to me is, what is it like on a day-to-day personal level, what is it like to be that person? Like, ignoring the morality of it, ignoring whether it's even effective or not, because, just because you kill some people that you think are doing bad things, especially people in positions of power, like, it doesn't really change anything structurally, right? You might cause problems for them, but at its core, things basically stay the same, right? And that's the problem of literally any vigilante, but I'll get to that later. So, about Aiden, you might be thinking that since he cares so deeply about his family, right? Since he's so broken up about his niece's death that he devotes his whole life to morally cleansing himself and getting revenge on the people who did it, you'd think he has a super deep bond with the rest of his family, which is his sister and her son, but he doesn't. Like, in fact, he hasn't even talked to them since the funeral. So, in the game's chronology, there's the day that the hit happens, Aiden's niece dies, then 11 months pass of Aiden, like, being a vigilante and trying to find information on the people that called the hit. And after those 11 months, he finds the guy who pulled the trigger. And that's where the game starts. So you might be thinking again, yeah, well, he feels guilty, so he doesn't talk to them because of that. But if you look at the actual scenes, you can see a kind of different story playing out. You can see how he has a high stakes personality that doesn't fit into a low stakes environment. So, for example, he has this guy who's basically a city mercenary, Jory Chin. He's hired him to help him out with, getting his revenge on the people that did the thing. And Jordy is like a complete psychopath, basically. Like, he's just doing it for money. But even then, Aiden gets along extremely well and has way more fun with Jordy than he does with his actual family. Because he ends up actually visiting Nikki and Jax, so his sister and her son. The contrast between the two scenes, like, it's pretty noticeable. I'm just going to play a bit of both of them here.
Hi. Oh, fuck. Jordy, who are they?
Well, they live here.
What happened?
Well, security in these buildings is pretty tight. So people like this feel nice and secure living way up here. I mean, these people just had a simple chain lock on their door. I guess they want to have a good look at the pizza guy before they open it all the way.
All right, fine, sure. So about this problem.
Well, that's why I brought the bolt cutters. He opens the door this much, there's a chain right there. I slip him in and snip, and guess what? It's not the pizza guy.
Jordy, the problem, let's deal with it.
We are dealing with it. We're in the midst of solutions here, Pierce. You don't appreciate what I do for you. You don't realize how much I take care of you, do you?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, do me a favor, let's get on with it. How much time do we have?
Not as much as we need. Oh, you remember the stiff from the stadium? He's not so stiff anymore. The cops got him in Chicago lockup, and oh, he's about to walk into an interrogation and point a finger right at you.
How did that happen?
Kick me when I'm down. Look at the view. See there? Call went out this morning. Somebody's paying buku bucks to grab this clown and make him talk. And one of those guys is running the assignment.
Well, it seems like me and him need to have a little chat.
Yeah, but this time, don't do that empty gun thing. Poor Maurice pissed himself after your last show.
Don't worry about my methods. You know how to use that thing?
Just get your ass down there, I got you covered. And don't kill the boss this time. You kinda need him.
You think? Okay. Here goes.
How old are you today? 10. No, I think you're 9.
I'm 10.
9.
10.
9.
10.
Well, in that case, you deserve 10 birthday tickles.
What?
1, 2, 3, 4,
Whoa.
5, 6,
Stop.
7, 8, 9.
10. 10.
10. Stay here for a second. So, an entire year and
You're late. Yeah, I'm sorry, Nick. Really.
come here. Let's have a look at you. You look older.
Oh, nice. Thanks for that.
It's his first birthday without Lena.
Oh, how's he doing?
Still doesn't talk to anybody but me. Yolanda says it's his way of maintaining some sort of control.
Yolanda.
His therapist. She's helping him. It's good. Just slow. It's hard, but we're gonna get through it. Jax.
Hey. Sorry I'm late. Can I get a hug? Wow. You are big. So, hey, what do you got there? Wow, the healer. Cool. You brought him a real toy, huh?
Why don't you bring up your toys? I'm gonna speak with your uncle.
Yeah, I'll be up there in a sec.
This matters. You being here. I just need to make sure that things are different.
Things are different. You and Jax are the most important people in my life.
And you know, I can even relate to this on a personal level, because I also don't like low stakes environments. Like, when I was in school, kind of forced to just do nothing, I was always like frustrated, and I was especially frustrated by the fact that everyone else was fine with it. Everyone else was fine with just kind of dicking around, doing the bare minimum all day, just doing these random tasks just because that's what's on the program. Meanwhile, I wanted to actually do something fucking significant, right? And because of that, I could never be part of, the friend groups and whatnot. And I was always like sticking out like a sore thumb. It's the exact same mentality, right? So you have this weird thing going on where, hypothetically, everything he's doing is for the sake of his family and making things right for them, because that's the most important thing in his life. Like, he literally said, you and Jax are the most important people in my life. And he says this with this obviously manipulative tone, right? And puts his hand on her shoulder, which is basically a manipulation tactic he tries on 2 other different people.
Listen, I need to trust you, Clara. Hey, I'm sorry I was rough before.
I know what you were doing, trying to intimidate me. Very textbook. Stepping into my personal space, the stare, physical contact. You're trying to look for cracks. So did you find any?
Wouldn't you love to know?
But anyway, you can see how even in the most benign social situation, which is a children's birthday, where all the other children have already left, so it's not even like chaotic, even in that situation, on a mental level, he's still just on damage control. Like, he doesn't actually know what it would even mean to relax and what it would actually mean to, emotionally connect with someone. And this is a real problem, not just for Aiden, because this whole thing of not knowing how to connect with people on a deeper psychological level, so you just basically alternate between crippling loneliness and fetishizing people, where, you connect with an imaginary version of that person because you don't know how to connect to a real person, right? That's unbelievably common these days. And it's a problem specifically for him and people like this because the psychological narrative for like a warrior type of person, like someone who's very violent, very idealistic, very righteous, the only way for a person like that to have a sense of emotional fulfillment is that the acts of violence have to ultimately lead to some kind of emotional reward, right? It has to lead to him actually getting what he wants and then being satisfied with what he has. So, 2,000, 3,000 years ago in Europe, if you went out and killed a bunch of people for your tribe and you come home again and you survived it, you'd be met with status, recognition, you'd have a very easy time finding a wife, right? All these positive things that would give you a sense of satisfaction, these things aren't actually available to him because all of his acts of violence, his inner narrative behind why he's doing it, it all plays out in his head. Like, it's not connected to any other person anywhere in his life. So, because that sense of psychological satisfaction never arrives through that whole 11-month period where he's doing this, he just has to keep going and going and going. Like, that's how you get stuck in a mentality like this. If you keep fighting, but the reward doesn't come, so you subconsciously assume, well, I guess I'll have to fight even harder. That, like, stubbornness and lack of anything positive, it just kills you in the end. In reality, Aiden should be way more stressed out. Like, they kind of hint at him having trouble sleeping and being lonely a little bit. But, again, it's a video game marketed mostly towards normies, right? They can't make it too psychologically depressing or people might not buy it. Anyway, this loneliness is something I really want to talk about because when you combine that level of loneliness with the psychological pressure of going out and risking your life. Because, obviously, when you're playing the video game, it doesn't feel like you're risking anything. But for a person doing this kind of thing in real life, that's the main thing that's on your mind. The main thing on your mind is that I'm going out to do this illegal thing, and I don't even have to do it. Every time I go and do it, there's a chance that, the police will shoot me and I'm going to be dead. All these negative things, again, in a psychologically healthy environment, it would be balanced out by the rewards that you get for successfully, doing the things. And also, it's way worse than you even probably imagine because when you're a vigilante and you're doing these kinds of things, you can never actually relax. Because let's say you're in your, untraceable apartment and you're planning on doing something, let's say 1 or 2 days from now. What are you going to do in the meantime? You can't go out and socialize with people, even if you wanted to. You can't go out and socialize with random people that you meet because those are potential witnesses that can point the police to your location if they, recognize you from CCTV footage or something like that. When you put only yourself alone against the entire rest of the society, the entire police force hypothetically, it just crushes you. Even if you succeed on a physical level, you get the things done, you get home, you don't die. Even if you do that, it psychologically really crushes you. Because I think the most important thing for any righteous person that's like risking their life in this way, the thing that people like this crave the most by far is just the recognition of what they're doing and the recognition that they are valuable because of it. Like, they want to hear someone they care about tell them, wow, you're really amazing. You decided on your own you're going to risk your life to do something morally correct, even though you know that there's a high chance of death, even though you know that there's likely not even any reward in it for you. And you're doing this simply because you want to do something good, something righteous, and it bothers you, the injustice that happens in the outside world and you want to fix it, right? That kind of recognition is something that you just crave because the situation feels so unfair to you, right? You're standing alone against the entire outside world and nobody even gives a fuck, and you're being punished for being a good person, basically. And again, because you're relying on this like absolute secrecy from any other person in your life, and anyone that knows about it is a potential threat, like it's just not a way to live, even if you succeed. Anyway, this brings me to the next part in the story, which is honestly the one that's executed in the weakest way, which is the point where Aiden meets Clara. Clara is basically, she's the hacker, spoilers, she's the hacker that found Aiden's location and gave it to the Mafia to begin with. So she actually helped get his niece killed, and she then afterwards decided to help Aiden with his revenge mission, because she felt guilty for it as well. And, you know, when they actually meet up, it's just kind of this lukewarm thing where they're just kind of throwing these like little jokes at each other, and that's kind of it. In reality, it would be so much more intense, because that's what happens when two super intense people that are doing illegal shit constantly and constantly feel that, you know, that loneliness of not even being able to tell anyone, and they share the same kind of goals, and they get together and, you know, help each other out and get things done together. Even ignoring the fact that Aiden should be fucking starving for emotional affection and Clara's, you know, hot as fuck. And she should see Aiden in terms of like, oh, so he's killed like 50 people and gotten away with it. You know, like that should be the situation. On top of the bond that should already be there by default, right? Like it would have been so much better if they showed that really intense emotional bond. Maybe they just didn't know how. Maybe the writers just aren't really capable of imagining a thing like that. I think it would genuinely have been such a good thing, not in terms of entertainment, but because, you know, you seek out fictional stories, you seek out video games and movies that have something in them that you feel like you're lacking in your own life. I mean, that's literally why it creates this, you know, strong emotional effect in you, right? Because it's exactly, you know, you seek out the things that you feel like you're missing, obviously. And, you know, especially with how so many people just don't understand how to connect with others beyond a surface level or beyond a, you know, parasocial fetishization level. It would have just been so cool to see that actually play out. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, so long story short, in the end, Aiden gets the information he wants. From the beginning of the story to the ending of the story, there's this huge thing in between that's kind of just busy work. It's like, okay, I need to get the information from this server and it's at the top of this building and I need this ID card to get in. And in order to be able to scan the guy who has the ID card, I need to go to this event where I know he's going to be. And now I need to go steal someone's identity in order to get to the event, in order to get to the key card, in order to be able to open the door at the top of the building, and in order to get into the server. You know, like it's just kind of like, who gives a fuck? So in the end, Aiden finds out who's responsible for the hit, who gave the order, and in the end he kills him, and he specifically says like, oh, I guess this is where I'm supposed to say that I feel empty or something, but actually I feel fucking amazing. That's absolutely true. Anyone who tells you that revenge is unfulfilling is fucking lying. Anyway, after all this is done, after the whole plot is resolved, there's one final thing you do, which is you go into the garage where the trigger man, Maurice, you know, the guy that actually shot the tire of Aiden's car, which led to his niece's death. Because he's just been sitting in Maurice's torture chamber this whole time while the game was playing out.
Hey, you won't guess where I am.
You're absolutely right.
I'm watering your plant.
Maurice, put him on.
What? What? Who is this?
If you don't talk, you don't leave.
Oh no. Come on, please. I got no name. You don't understand, I'm trapped. I can't stop. I can't stop seeing that little girl. She's just looking at me.
Shut up. I said, shut up.
All right, Weepy, back to your corner. Jesus, Pierce, what did you say to him?
And then in the end, you go to him and you decide, am I going to kill him now or am I going to walk away? And if you listen to all the audio logs that you find throughout the game, you kind of know that, yeah, he was like completely psychologically tortured and blackmailed into doing it. And it's really kind of difficult to judge him considering the circumstances, you know, that sort of thing. They threatened to kill his wife, and then in the end, because he fucked up the job and Aiden didn't die, they just kidnapped her and sold her into sex slavery anyway, right? Like, he's a little psychologically fucked. This scene, where it's just Aiden and Maurice talking, it's like possibly my favorite scene in anything ever. It's competing for first place with the final scene of Death Stranding 1. I'm just gonna play it here fully, because it kind of speaks for itself.
Maybe even finish it up. Clean out some loose ends. I know you'd be back. Guys like us, we don't know when to stop.
It's done. You're the last.
There is no last. You're in it now. I warn you. These guys, they're like nothing ever seen before. You fucking
No.
think it's over?
But now they have something to fear.
What the fuck? What's wrong with you, man? Huh? You're fucked! You get that? We're both fucked! Fucking shoot me! Come on. Huh? Make you sleep better at night. Kill the guy that killed your niece. Good for you, you selfish fuck! Yeah, I deserve it. But ain't gonna change anything. Nothing ever changes. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. I know it. I know it. I know it. Huh?